security wasn't even needed because the table just went flying.
There was nothing the security could do to stop that, was
nothing
there?
at all, no. It's a good job to a lot of people here because it would have gone off. It genuinely...
John Fury loses it and flips table and wrecks Carl Froch in fiery press conference. Heated arguments quickly escalated between John Fury and Carl Froch. Tempers flared during the confrontation before Fury lost control of his anger and flipped the table in Froch's direction. The moment turned the press conference into chaos, leaving fans debating whether it was passion or pure overreaction. Frank Warren doesn't hold back and clearly disapproved of the whole scene, suggesting the confrontation went too far. The heated moment between John Fury and Carl Froch looked chaotic after Fury's anger exploded and he flipped the table in frustration. Fans online mocked the incident, calling it disrespectful to boxing, while others believe Fury simply let his old-school aggressive nature take control.
I like it. People think because you're a promoter you like all that stuff. Me, I didn't like what happened.
Johnny Nelson believes the confrontation may have helped generate early interest ahead of the April undercard on the Tyson Fury vs. Arslan Makhmoudov fight card. While the press conference drama created headlines, some critics argue it distracted from fight promotion itself. The rivalry between John Fury and Carl Froch continues to divide opinion among boxing fans.
Froch I'm fine because I'm quite sure Carl's going to rip the life out of John after today. I think John did the job. John did the job and got the excitement going, got people talking. That's exactly what he did.
According to Ade Oladipo, the moment felt more like uncontrolled chaos than planned promotion. The confrontation between John Fury and Carl Froch showed how quickly tempers can flare inside high-pressure press events. Fury's aggressive movement toward Froch created real tension before security could intervene. The scene sparked debate about whether such confrontations help sell fights or simply damage the sport's professional atmosphere.
Fury, being John Fury, went straight for him. I'm not quite sure what he was going to do if he got to him, but I guess that was the entertainment from the press conference.
Carl Froch sounded visibly furious after the confrontation, expressing his anger over the insults exchanged during the press event. The rivalry with John Fury has now turned deeply personal following the chaotic press conference. Froch's words showed how the tension had crossed professional boundaries, with emotions running high as both sides continued trading verbal shots, keeping the boxing world divided over the incident.
Face growling and snarling, calling me a bum, calling me a worm. It's so disrespectful. It actually gets me a little bit angry. I'm laughing. I'm laughing at it inside, but I'm also the fighting man in me makes me want to respond with, if he was in the room now stood in front of me, I would punch his head in. I really would.
John Fury once again showcased his aggressive, old-school fighting mentality during the heated exchange. His statements reflected deep frustration and an attempt to assert dominance verbally rather than through any actual physical confrontation. The rivalry with Carl Froch continues to generate controversy, with many viewing these outbursts as more about intimidation tactics than meaningful promotion ahead of the fight buildup.
Outside, I'm an animal. I'm telling you now, people who know me, or the past, they're all dead who know me. Who could say he can fight? Outside he's an animal. They're all dead and gone. I'm from old school. I'm from the 70s, 80s and 90s, when men was men. We didn't talk down YouTube. So men made videos. We fought. And you see that, the pussies, man. Pussies. You think some 12-stone man can beat me a fight off that window like an airplane?
Reacting to the heated press conference, Tyson Fury highlighted the value of discipline and hunger at the elite level of boxing. His message indirectly contrasted with the behavior shown by John Fury and the response from Carl Froch. While Froch's verbal aggression kept the rivalry alive, critics felt the exchange lowered the professional standard expected inside high-profile boxing promotion events.
To be around people just to show them what hunger is and desire is, and when you're at the top to show them to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Hopefully they learn, it rubs off on them.
According to Adam Smith, both fighters' personalities keep boxing entertainment alive, even if their rivalry looks messy at times. The ongoing tension between John Fury and Carl Froch adds character-driven drama to the sport. While some see it as harmless banter, others believe the controversy sometimes overshadows the sporting quality of the fight promotion.
I do know is that John Fury and Carl Froch on the cobbles will be fun. I think they both have a good fun doing that, but I'm sure it's all fun and games. They like to say what they believe. They like to say something that's controversial, and they're two big characters, and we love having them around the sport.
Spencer Oliver described the confrontation as a hard matchup to judge, highlighting how both fighters carry strong fighting reputations. The rivalry between John Fury and Carl Froch has now become more than just verbal exchanges inside the press conference. Oliver also pointed out Froch's physical fitness and experience even at 48 years old, suggesting he remains a dangerous competitor. The discussion further extended to Lennox Lewis, showing how the confrontation triggered comparisons with legendary heavyweight figures.
Fury, Carl Froch, who wins that one?
Difficult one to call, that,
Really?
You got to go with the
Really?
Cobra. You got to go with the Cobra, mate.
Really?
The Cobra's dangerous. He's still in shape. 48 years of age.
John's standing over there behind you.
You got to go with John Fury. Yeah, no, it kicked off a little bit. But it wasn't only Carl Froch that he went into either, did he? He actually went into Lennox Lewis as well. He started steaming into Lennox Lewis a little bit, and I go, whoa, who wins that one?
Eddie Hearn said he would prefer keeping both fighters separated, suggesting the confrontation could escalate if emotions flare again. The rivalry between John Fury and Carl Froch has become extremely intense after the press conference chaos. Security presence was highlighted as a necessary precaution to prevent another potential physical clash. Many boxing insiders believe the buildup surrounding this confrontation has now shifted more toward personal rivalry than professional promotion.
You honestly think if these two come together like this, well, you know what's going to happen?
So what
I'm going to keep them apart by a wall of security.
John Fury expressed his old-school fighting philosophy, emphasizing raw toughness and self-reliance in training. His statement reflected a belief in building strength through unconventional, hard-style preparation rather than modern coaching systems. The comments also kept the rivalry with Carl Froch in the spotlight. While supporters see it as classic Fury mentality, critics argue such claims are more about intimidation psychology than practical fight science in modern boxing competition.
Another running video this morning, but not just a running video. I'm going to be the first man to fight a 3-time Hall of Famer. We're just doing it myself. John Fury style. Running, bare knuckle, heavy bag, eating, living in the woods, chopping trees, eating the filth of the earth. I'm doing it gypsy style. And I'm going to prove to everybody out there, where there's a will.
Eddie Hearn expressed strong confidence in Carl Froch, stating he would not underestimate him in a real confrontation scenario. However, he also acknowledged the physical presence of John Fury, suggesting the fight could involve unpredictable tactics if it ever happened. The discussion highlighted the possibility of rough, close-range exchanges, reflecting how the rivalry has shifted from verbal arguments to speculation about actual fighting ability.
I would never back against Carl Froch on the cobbles. Ever. But John Fury's a big old lump. There'll be some illegal moves in there. Do you know what I mean? But if they ever get close, Carl will be swinging. Do you know what I mean?
Shane Fury reacted to the confrontation by explaining that online criticism can sometimes provoke real-life tension when rivals meet face-to-face. He acknowledged that his father, John Fury, follows a traditional fighting mindset and believes strongly in his own judgment, even if others disagree. Shane also admitted that although John Fury's approach is controversial, there are moments where his views carry some weight. The statement reflected the family's defensive attitude while keeping the rivalry with Carl Froch in the spotlight.
To be like you can talk about someone online and do videos, but not expect someone to say anything when you see someone. So I don't know. Listen, my dad's got his ways and his points. And 90% of the time he's half right, but listen, it is what.
Dave Allen stated that he does not support the aggressive behavior shown during the press conference, though he maintains personal respect for John Fury and his family. Allen emphasized that friendship should remain separate from controversial public incidents. The statement reflected a balanced view, acknowledging the emotional nature of boxing personalities while suggesting that the confrontation between John Fury and Carl Froch went beyond what is acceptable inside professional promotion settings.
I'm not saying that I condone that behaviour, because I don't.
You can't. It's impossible to. But John is my mate. I've got respect for him. I respect the family. We're cool. So you're never going to hear me say a bad word about it. But at the same time, obviously,
no.
It's probably not the Steve Bunce thing. I thought, bloody hell, didn't like it really.
The long-standing verbal tension between John Fury and Carl Froch continues to attract attention across boxing media. According to Liam Goff, both personalities have exchanged criticism over time, keeping the rivalry alive through interviews and online discussions. The possibility of an exhibition-style fight was also mentioned, though financial negotiations remain a major obstacle. Fury's statement about fighting any man anytime reflects his aggressive old-school mentality, while Froch's charity fight suggestion shows a more controlled promotional approach. The rivalry has now shifted from simple verbal disagreement into a personality-driven boxing storyline.
John Fury was doing that and goading Carl Froch, and I know John Fury doesn't like Carl Froch. Carl Froch mentions him, although I haven't really watched much of Carl Froch's videos lately. But Carl Froch, I know, has mentioned John Fury in the past. He's had a go with John Fury. They actually talked about having an actual, was it an exhibition or a boxing type match? And John Fury, any man, anytime, was saying words to the effect of, oh, I'll fight you, Carl Froch, but the money has to be right. And Carl Froch basically said, all right, well, if we arrange payment, it can go to...
Gareth Davies explained that John Fury becomes extremely emotional when defending his sons inside boxing environments. Fury's behavior is often triggered when he feels publicly challenged or disrespected. During the conversation, Fury reportedly claimed he would confront any man who calls him out, reflecting his traditional fighting mindset. The comments reinforce the perception that Fury's personality is built around intimidation and family protection. Meanwhile, the ongoing tension with Carl Froch keeps generating media headlines, making the rivalry one of the most controversial talking points in British boxing circles.
What John does, he's very, very, very passionate around his sons when they're fighting, and it gets something out of him. I spoke to him, literally face to face, and I said, what is upset? He said, I don't want people calling me out because I'll take any man on.
Yeah.
You know the comments.
Yeah.
My guy came.
The analysis from the Southpaw stance described the behavior of John Fury as highly unpredictable during the confrontation buildup. The commentary highlighted how Fury has developed a reputation for chasing verbal and physical confrontations with multiple personalities inside boxing media circles. The ongoing dispute with Carl Froch stems from years of criticism exchanged publicly, with Froch often speaking negatively about Fury's approach and personality. The confrontation seen in the clip raised questions about what Fury expected to achieve from the encounter, especially considering the history of hostility between both sides.
This guy is just crazy upon crazy upon crazy, but we already knew that. He's now chasing after Carl Froch. Obviously, Carl Froch has had lots of things over the years to say about John Fury, basically all negative things, but I don't know what John Fury was expecting to get out of that confrontation. We've seen John Fury try and go after everybody anyway, whether it's at Misfits Boxing, whether it's at high-level boxing,
Adam Smith pointed out that the confrontation between John Fury and Carl Froch is more about long-standing verbal hostility than any serious fight negotiation. Froch has often criticized the Fury camp over time, which triggered Fury's aggressive reaction and chasing confrontation style. Many boxing observers feel that Fury's behavior during the build-up looked more emotional than strategic, reflecting a personality-driven rivalry rather than professional promotion. The dispute continues dividing opinion inside boxing circles, with some seeing it as entertainment, while others believe such aggressive public exchanges do not represent the sport's professional standards.
It's Carl having a go at the Furies, probably over his time on his channel, maybe, I'm guessing, and John didn't like that and wants to have a fight with him, something like that.
It was something like that. I don't think he was still necessarily turning down a fight.
What I do know is that John Fury and Carl Froch on the cobbles will be fun. I think they both have a good.
The confrontation between John Fury and Carl Froch has become one of the most controversial talking points inside modern boxing media, keeping fans engaged even without an official fight announcement. The rivalry is mainly built on verbal hostility hostility and public criticism rather than confirmed professional match negotiations. While some supporters enjoy the aggressive, old-school personality of Fury and believe his behavior reflects true fighting spirit, critics argue that the press conference chaos only damaged the professional image of boxing promotion. On the other hand, Carl Froch has maintained a strong verbal response, keeping the tension alive through interviews and media statements. The possibility of an exhibition or charity-based fight has been mentioned in past discussions, but financial agreements and promotional strategy still remain major obstacles. Many boxing analysts believe this rivalry works more as entertainment drama than competitive sporting challenge, because neither side has officially confirmed a real fight contract. As the debate continues, the boxing world is watching closely to see whether emotions will settle or escalate further in future interactions. Are you supporting technical boxing confidence from Carl Froch or the aggressive intimidation style of John Fury? Share your thoughts and prediction in the comments below.